I spent my entire life rapping, writing, and playing video games. I have no business learning piano. When I did learn piano, a little bit was when I was 8 years old. I had this terrible piano teacher. He was mean, he was strict, he made it not fun. And so I've lived my entire life running away from the piano because every single time I got in contact with it, it just gave me the boring vibes, like dead vibes. No offense, bro. All the man them that was teaching me this instrument here, you made it sound rubbish when I was a child. You did not even let me feel heard by the fact that maybe I wanted to learn a certain type of song. Man was out here forcing me to learn Ode to Joy and all of this madness. But anyways, point is, it's 2026. I get a free piano from Casio because I'm living my music life. I've given out about 45 tickets to young people so they can attend the biggest music industry festival in the world called South by Southwest. I've given them these tickets. I'm exploring the venue, networking, and I come across a company called Casio who decide to gift me a full-length free keyboard. So now it's in my yard, I unpack it, and literally, what can I do other than set it up and be like, you know what? Let me give it a go. So that's how I started. The good thing is, I've been deeply inspired beyond those teachers that I spoke about earlier. I run a live band, so I'm surrounded by musicians all the time, especially very talented piano players. So I'm always seeing their mannerisms and the way they use the instrument. And that for me is the fuel to make me actually want to learn the thing, because I can see what's done on the piano and I can see how it affects my music when I release my songs. The piano is usually one of the best instruments that features on my tracks. You know what I'm saying? What was I hoping to do differently this time around though? In terms of learning the piano, I wanted to make sure that, yes, I learned the theory, but I don't focus too much on things that don't excite me. Because I'm a big man, I'm an adult, I don't really have time to be living a life that doesn't feel intentional, that feels boring, that feels almost pointless. I still need to have that sense of motivation, that feeling that I'm building towards something. And sometimes, if we stick to the routine that someone else has set for us, we can't actually see the future for ourselves. So we really have to see ourselves in the instrument that we're learning. So for me, cool, I'm gonna learn the theory, but then I'm also gonna try and cater it to my experiences and the things that I want to learn. And the only way I can do that is if I deviate from the standard norms of what people do when they want to learn an instrument like this. I learned piano so far with ChatGPT. I trained it. I didn't just trust it immediately though. What I did was I said to it, I want to learn piano. This is what I do as a job. I'm a rapper, I'm a performer, and I work in music. I'm also a music mentor. So I'm constantly surrounded by musicians, especially UK, R&B, jazz, neo soul, a lot of the soulful types of music. So I'm very conscious of what the piano can do. So I told it this, and I've let it give me a curriculum. And I took that same AI chat, gave it to Google Gemini, another AI chat, and said, yo, check ChatGPT for me, find out if it's actually gonna teach me the way I need to be taught based on this information about me. Did it respond? Oh, T, I don't think it's gonna do a good job because of this. Here's what I'll do. Then I go back to ChatGPT and back to Gemini until I'm happy with the method of teaching. And every single time I went through that phase, it helps me think, what do I actually need? Every single time they responded, they were saying something new that I didn't consider before, and I would add something new. Oh, I think I'm dyslexic, and so therefore I prefer easy read documents. Oh, I think I would love it if I could perform my music in a certain amount of time live, whereas I wouldn't really care about reading music, like a sheet, for example. So I told it that as well. I'm learning all this stuff about myself in terms of the skills that I think I want and the things I think I need. And the good thing about it is I can always change my mind later. And if I do, then it has to adapt. Do you know what I'm saying? And I like that. I thought that was really cool. So in the end, here's what it gave me. T. Peters, this is what you're going to do. This is what it said. Let me even put it on the screen. Let me ask it. Let me actually ask it for you. You can know. Yo, ChatGPT, I'm currently doing a video on how I got into learning piano. Can you quickly tell me in bullet points, very simple bullet points, what has been your process in teaching me? Not what I've learned, but just like, what rules do you follow to make sure that you're teaching me in the best way possible? Let us know. I'm going to read it out loud on the video. Let's see what it says. It's transcribing it and answering. It says this. Absolutely, I'd keep it really simple. One new idea per person, never overwhelmed with too much at once. 10 to 15 minutes at a time, small enough to stay consistent every day. Build on previous lessons. Every lesson connects to what you've already learned. Learn by making music. Apply every concept immediately instead of only doing exercises. Train your ear, not your fingers. Describe how chords and melodies actually feel. That's big for me, I'm not gonna lie, because before, I just thought it was like a method. You press one chord, then the other chord, this chord is for this purpose, this chord's for that. But actually, I realize now that the chords, they all speak to each other to create a certain effect, so they all can have a feeling, and you can build feelings to make a bigger feeling. It's almost like making sentences. That was mad. Anyways, it also says answer curiously without changing the curriculum. That's important. Sometimes I just be thinking stuff like, yo, my keys player did this jazz thing and they said that they had to do this thing called inversions. And I was like, can you tell me about that? ChatGPT knows that it can tell me a little bit about it, but it won't overwhelm me and start teaching me a whole new topic that I'm not ready for. It will hint at it. It'll be like, well, inversion is like this, and that's what you need to know for now, but I promise you we'll get to this at lesson 20 or something like that. That's what it will tease out the information without letting me go off track. Because I'm an independent guy, I've learned my entire life how to do things on my own. So I'm always quick to deviate and learn new stuff that maybe I'm not ready for, because if I skip that step, that means I don't have the foundations. So it's really focusing on foundational teaching. And then I don't want to keep reading this, but there's a couple other examples. I can use my own songs as the examples, which is important because it lets me learn my own music. And finally, it teaches me to be more independent, so that if I'm ever on my own, I can beats on my own and not have to worry about going to ChatGPT for assistance all the time. You know what I mean? Even being self-reliant, whereas some teachers make you, especially, my driving instructor was really bad. He really made me feel that I needed him to be able to drive. Like, he would brake for me all the time. He would do all sorts of stuff for me, and I'd barely get a chance to do things for myself. It was only when I stopped learning from this specific teacher, I went to another one who told me that, yo, T, you actually have the skills that you need, just not confident. So it's all about confidence building to be an independent individual when you're learning something new. So that's the structure that helps me learn how to play the piano. And learning it has been a massive confidence booster for me, because it's made me a lot more confident in the process of learning. I never really thought that I could just spend 10 minutes on a lesson and actually leave learning something new, to where the next day I come back to that thing and I've improved like dramatically somehow. Sometimes for example, I'll be on the keyboard and I'd play something like a certain chord that I couldn't do before. So let's try, I think it's like C sharp major 9, I think. Let me try it. See this chord here? Back in the day, I couldn't do this. My fingers wouldn't be able to stretch through it. I didn't know how to do it because it was so crazy. But then, after practicing it every day, like 5 to 10 minutes at a time, just pressing the chord, maybe one at a time, slowly, I'll have to look at the keys and understand where I am. But the next day, I'm like this. Then I got the next chords. That was bad. See, I still make mistakes, but I feel confident in making those mistakes because I know what I'm trying to do. So I feel more confident in being able to do the thing that I wanted. You get me? Now I can perform and sing at the same time, like this. I could be like, I can actually do stuff I could never do before, which is play and rap. I wouldn't know what to say this is, but some people call it love. Some people say I'm obsessed with you, how silly of me, how dumb. Oh well, if I give lots of power to you, then don't let me look dumb. Yeah, I wanna see you win, hey, I wanna see you win, cause I wanna see you shine and be somebody you confide in. How do we get this intimate? Lips this smell of cinnamon. I wanna see you shining, cause I might be your biggest fan. It's likely, can't deny it. If it's envy, you, I'm irrational. Down bad and impractical. And if you go international, I'll travel. Hey, there's saliva on my map. Saliva on my map? Saliva on my lips just then, but I had to just stop. And I don't think I was singing that good. But the point is, the fact that I could, it's something I could not do a week or two ago. And it was only possible because I spent 10 minutes every single day practicing the same thing or building on the skills little by little. And that's thanks to ChatGPT, but also thanks to my real life community. Shout out to people like Sarah Tandy, a jazz pianist who actually takes her time to reply to my long ass messages like, yo, what's this mean? What's that mean? This, what's that? How do I play my song? Blah, blah, blah. She even came round to my house one day and showed me how to play my own tune. Check out that video if you want to. That experience of having real life people teach me stuff, and then but also having that consistent learning method of having like an adaptable teacher like this, which is technically free if you want it to be, is mind-blowing. It changed the game completely. I mean, what I just played to you was, I only know it because of Sarah. So she taught me those two chords, and then I was able to tell ChatGPT, yo, she taught me these chords. I don't know what the flip they are. I don't know what key they're in. I don't know how it works. And it slowly built me to be able to understand what I'm playing. And to be honest, I still don't fully understand. I'm still learning. I don't even know what key I'm in fully. I think I'm in C sharp minor or something like that. It touched on it, but I'm not there yet. I'm still learning other stuff. but I'm able to build my skills, learn the foundational stuff, and know that I'm going somewhere. I know where I'm heading to. And now, on 30th of July, I'm even considering performing piano live in front of a real audience for the first time in my life. I might not do it. I'm not even going to promise anything, but because of that song I just played, I think I could possibly do it live. And it's funny because ChatGPT, I asked it, do you think I'll ever be able to do it myself and how long? And it was like, yo, you can probably do like 4 months, maybe 8 months. Bro, I feel like I'm ready in 1 month because of the way that I'm learning. I've only been learning for a month and I can play a whole song. It's mad. Anyway, that said, that's my experience learning piano so far. I'm trying to see if there's anything else to say about that, to be honest. I don't think there really is. I'm just really proud. I think going forward, it's really going to change the way that I make music. I'm used to making beats on my own. I've got all this equipment. You can't see it on camera, but I've got hundreds of pounds of equipment all around me of how to make music. But the way that I was making music was based on other people's work, sampling, taking other people's sounds and music and chopping them to make my own vibe. That was just normal for hip hop user to do, but it meant that I was very limited in terms of my creativity because I was limited to other people's inputs. It had to be other people to make the music first before I could make music myself. All I could do myself was write words out of nothing, but I couldn't make the music. Now I can actually say that there's a higher chance that I'll be able to make my nothing on the piano, play my piece that only I could have played or thought to play. Do you know what I'm saying? So now I'm even more likely to create and produce 100% TP's music where there's no other influence other than me and my skills, and I think that's awesome. So I think that's going to change the game for how I produce music going forward, and I'm really looking forward to showing you guys what comes out of it. Lately, most of my music has been self-produced or just lightly produced with another person, and I think that's really cool. It's like the next step for me. If I've got like 100 songs out there, the first 60, 70 was always produced by somebody else, someone I knew, so a collaborator that I really respected. But as the years have gone by, there's now albums that are just fully produced by me or partly by me, like Into Light or what's my other album called? And Vows and K-Dramas. Those two albums, most of it is 80% of it is produced by me, but the only thing is most of them were produced with samples. Now I think I could possibly start producing stuff without samples or less samples, and I'm really excited by that idea. The biggest lesson I've learned is the less you do can sometimes have the biggest impact. Sometimes we get too focused on rushing into things. Instead of spending 10 minutes on a very important topic, we spend 1 hour learning as many things as possible, and the next day we've forgotten it all. And that's what's so important about taking your time and being patient with things. It really pays off, and it's hard to believe, but if you need evidence, I'm your evidence. It can be believable. And I'm only at the start of my journey, so if you want to know more about my journey, definitely subscribe and comment so that I can know to even keep you guys in the loop. I'm happy to do so as long as I know people want it. Because I ain't doing this for you guys. I'm learning piano for myself, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to share more, because that's what I do. With that said, I think learning piano has helped me change the type of musician I want to become. I don't even know if it's changed. I've always been like this. But when I started my career, up until now, I've always pushed to be self-reliant. And I thought that the only way I could be self-reliant is by upgrading my business skills. If I don't know how to make music, I'll just form a band, make sure I know the legal side of things, and make sure that everyone's treated fairly. But I'd always have this knowledge that I'd be kind of tied to a piano player. Every time I booked a show, I'd always be tied to making a band or taking someone with me everywhere I go. And the only sense of control I had was knowing that it's my business, so I can actually negotiate and make the rules. But now, I actually feel confident in saying that there's going to be a time where someone can book me for a show and I'll not only know the business side, but I'll also know the music side to be able to offer something. It might not ever be as good as my actual keys player that plays in my band or any of my friends that are professional piano players. But if someone said, T. Peters, can we book you for a show? At least I know I have the option to say, I think my piano player will do a better job than me at playing piano, and I can just rap. And if he's not available, I now know that I could literally say, my keys player isn't available, but just I can actually play my own music. And that's all that matters. I hope you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. That's my story so far. Take care. Speak to you soon.